Journaling along with the Hannah Montana art journalers. There's an impromptu group of art journalers on YouTube who are starting to do their own art journaling in their Hannah Montana books. I wanna too, don't leave me out. Well, not having a Hannah Montana book on hand and not wanting to go buy one, I chose a really quality wallpaper book I bought about a year ago for the purposes of using it as an art journal. I decided I was going to follow along with the different page layouts that the Hannah Montana groups are doing. You can see some of the beginning book pages by visiting Claudia Rossi at Crazy Island Studios and the Artistic Pagan. I put links in the description box below. In this video, I am prepping my wallpaper book and getting it ready to art journal my first double page layout. Yeah, Hannah Goes Tuscany. Hi, I'm back, and I am going to start on a new project. That's why you see nothing but a blank white sheet here. But let me tell you a little about it. I've been following on the YouTube videos where there are several people who are going to be altering Hannah Montana books. And they're kind of doing it as a group. I'm going, don't leave me out. However, I do not have a Hannah Montana book on hand, and I really don't want to go on a search for one. If I run across one, I'll grab it. Maybe I'll alter it later. So I'm going to use what I have on hand. And I posted with Claudia Rossi of Crazy Island Studios now. I'll put a link to her video, and also the Artistic Pagan are both. They are both going to be altering Hannah Montana books. And so I'm going to kind of follow along with what I have on hand. And Claudia says, oh, use what you have. So that's what I'm going to do. So let me show you what I have. I have this wallpaper book. Look how big this is. Let me get I'm getting ready to gesso some of the pages. Look how big this book is. It certainly will meet the measuring requirements. I got this, I think I got this at an antique store, but it was in the more like their flea market bargain bin at the basement, so I did not pay big dollars for this. I think because it's such a nice one, I think I paid around maybe $10 or $11 for it, but it was well worth it. It is about 13 1/4 inches. The pages will not be that much. The pages will probably be about 12 inches by, and the cover is 16 1/2, approximately 16 1/2. Let me go to one of the pages here. Let me open it up for you. These are, oh, this is such a nice book. This is going to be so fun to alter, and it's going to be fun to follow along with the people that are doing the Hannah Montana books. So I'll probably alter about, oh, not even 12 inches. By the time I get to the center here where the pages start giving me more difficulty, maybe about 11 1/2 inches by just about 16, not quite 16 inches. But, oh, look at these. This is going to be fun because it's all put together for me. It already has tip ends. Look at this. Tell me that I can't make some sort of a envelope here. All I'd have to do is score tape it down, maybe cut some out. The reason that I bought it, was because I thought, oh, these are such nice papers. I could make envelopes when I send off some of my swap mailings with this paper. It would make really nice envelope paper. Now, I don't think it's going to be quite as thick as what the Hannah Montana books are, but it's a nice paper. This is not a cheap wallpaper paper. This is very nice, a very nice wallpaper sample book, and this is going to be fun to alter. Now, I think Claudia counted the number of double page layouts, and I think she said there were 16 or 17. I can't remember. I counted mine while I was watching her video. There are 66 double page layouts in this book. So I'll be doing this long after everybody else is finished. And that's not counting all the tip-ins. Look at this pocket. Here, let me move my camera up a little so you can see it. Right here. Look. Now there are several of these. I could tape them down the sides and make it pockets that way, or I could alter each one front and back. I haven't decided yet. I'll decide if I ever get there. Or if the book, you know, if I get to a stopping point, or if I think that I want to add more thick embellishments and I'm having, you know, if the book is starting to fan out, I don't think that I could alter the binding of this without ripping the book apart, and I'm not ready to do that. I could remove some of the pages. Look at this. Oh, this is beautiful. This is just beautiful wallpaper. I'm so excited about doing this. And then I'm going to follow along with the Artistic Pagan and maybe some Kathy Orta videos on how they do tip-ins and different pieces in here to alter the book. Now, I wanted to show you the binding here. How much of this you can see. My lighting is always bad. Let's see if I can turn on my other light here. I don't know if that helped any or not. Yeah, it looks like it did. See, look how this book had plenty of room to expand in here. And if you look really close, between each set of pages, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, real thin ones, 6, 7 sets of signatures in here, and between each of them there's about a fourth, maybe not a fourth, a little over of a 1/4 inch spacer. So I already have built in here expansion space, and I really like that. So if you see a wallpaper book and it has its handle here that I can, it's a clear plastic handle, but that'll be nice. And I'll probably do something to the spine. I don't know if I want to do anything to the cover or not. The cover is just beautiful. I might put art journal or something on there. I'll decide that later. So this is the book that I'm going to follow along with the group. Don't leave me out. With the group that's going to be altering Hannah Montana books. I've had it in my stash here for a little over a year. I bought it for the purpose of doing some art journaling or maybe making some envelopes out of the papers. But I think I'll do the art journaling. And what I'm going to do today, because the wallpaper, see, I'm going to have to gesso over this, which will thicken the pages. I might gesso over a part of this side, but I'm not going to gesso over this at all. I'm going to alter this. If I gesso over it, well, you can't see it. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit more here. I'll probably gesso over this side for my first, this will be my first double page. I'm going to leave the cover sheet. I'll come back to that and add whatever I want to. But this will be my first double-sided layout. And I'll probably gesso with paint over this part. Leave this page. Wish you could see this better. I need to adjust my camera so you can see things better. I'll probably work on this page, but I will not be gessoing over that. I will be arting on it and using it as a base for as a background page for my art journal. And so I'm really excited to get started on this. I'm going to gesso and prime and paint out the back of the pages. So this will be the first one that I'll probably paint out. But before I do, let me set my Hannah Montana wannabe custom sun book. I am going to set some paper down here, and I'm going to mix up some gesso. Now I have this Liquitex Basics acrylic gesso, and this is old. I tried to shake it up and it's not shaking very well. And also I have some Painter's Touch Country Blue, and I'm sure I probably picked it up as an oops paint, as Shannon Green calls it, oops paint. And I'm going to mix the two, so my pages will be a very, very light blue gesso. So let's see what I have in here. Ooh, it's very thick. I don't know how much I can get out. I'm going to pour. It's coming out pretty good. I want a good amount because I'm going to be doing, and I'm probably going to have to, it's very thick, I'm going to be adding some water to that. So I put about half of my acrylic base gesso in there. I'll put my cap on pretty tight again. And then I am going to open this Country Blue painter's tape. This is Painter's Touch by Rust-Oleum Country Blue multi-purpose indoor outdoor easy cleanup latex paint. And let's see how country blue it is. I can get it out. I shook it up. Well, it's pretty dark, but if I don't put as much in it, it's got scum on the top. Let's see if I can get that scum off. Remove the scum. Put that over on the towel here. Phew. Now I have some white paint, but it's a high gloss enamel, and I don't want to have enamel gesso. It would probably never dry. This is latex. So I'm thinking that if I pour some of my Country Blue, let me just get what's on here off of my painter stick. And if I very carefully pour, just like that, wipe off the rim here. I'm going to have to get out another towel. I have a whole roll of paper towels right at hand. And let's just clean this rim off. Whew. Let's get my screwdriver down in that. Clean it off as best as I can before I put the lid back on, or I'll never get it off again. I have to say I much prefer cans that pour easily. This has so many ridges to this rim that the paper towel doesn't even go down in there very good. Okay, that's good enough. I'm going to put this back on. Hammer it down. Clean up my mess on my sheet here, just for cleanup purposes. Like that mattered. And then I'm just going to stir up my gesso in with my, might have to add some water to it. This is a nice thick gesso. I'm sure I need to add some water to that white gesso because it's getting thick. Probably do that the next time I get it out. See how thick that is? And that's why I added the Country Blue, but I don't mind a Country Blue base on the back of those wallpaper sheets. I don't even mind it being streaked, but I would like that white gesso to be just a little bit thinner. This is almost the consistency of a really thick yogurt. That's almost too thick in my opinion. Look how much lighter it's gotten though. That white gesso has pretty well mixed in there. So I'm going to take a little water and mix in there. All I have at hand is my spray bottle. Probably put about 1.5 ounces of water in there. And that will thin out that gesso. And I'm going to start gessoing my pages. Aren't paint sticks a wonder? But I think this thinner, I could probably even add more water because it's still pretty thick. See how thick that is? I think I will add another swallow. Give me a swallow of water. And as I gesso with it, now it's starting to get a good consistency. As I gesso, as I use it, it'll go down, so if it's still thick, I mean the amount of paint that I have in there as I use it will go down. So as I paint with it, if I need more water, if I need to thin it out a little bit more, I can. Still pretty thick, isn't it? We'll see how it works on the page. But I don't mind that the colors are very, very light blue, so I don't mind that. I can kind of wipe up my page here because I don't want it to get on my book. This is the parchment paper that I used off of my last video when I did those acrylic skins. So let me set these aside. I'm going to flip this parchment. Upside down, just to there. And then I have this piece of paper, and I have some wax paper. And let's see, what else do I have here? I have my book. So I'm going to be gessoing my book, and I probably should protect this with handy wrap. And I do have, because when I'm gesso, I don't want to get gesso all over the cover, some very pretty Christmassy plastic wrap. So before I get started here with my gessoing, let's get this out of the way so I don't spill it. Put my can of paint down on the floor so I don't spill it. Get out my, I think I'm just going to use this plastic cheap mailing tape. Got this at, I shouldn't call it cheap because I really do like it. It's thin enough that I do like that. I get it at the Dollar Tree, and it only cost me $1 for that roll, and it's perfect for what I want, rather than spending $4 or $5 for a roll of painter's tape. So I am going to protect my cover. like how I covered that. I missed it a little in there, but the main part of it is protected of the cover. So, this is going to be my first double page layout. I think I'll gesso this and leave this, but I want to gesso. And I'm not going to show you all the gessoing that I do, because that would be quite boring. Onto my camera. I'm going to gesso for you this page. And maybe I'll tip my book a little. I probably will not be able to get, and I may get some gesso in there. I could mask that off if I wanted it to be really neat. You can't see it really in here, because I'm going to be getting with my brush in there, and I'll most likely will get it in there on this side, but I'm not going to worry about it because it's an art journal, or it's going to be my art journal. And what I wish I had, and what I need to go to the store to get, are some really thick Donna Downey clips to hold my pages while I'm working. All I have are these type of things. I guess that'll work. So, I am ready to do for you, while you're watching the exciting act of, and this gesso is fairly thick yet, but I'm going to leave it that way and see how it works. In some place, if I haven't covered it up with my papers here, I have my old brush. So there's my page all gessoed and ready to do the first double page layout. I'm not going to do much until I see how everybody else is starting and when they're starting. I do have to do my own tip-ins and insertions and that type of thing, so I'll probably be doing some research while I'm waiting to see when everybody else is starting theirs. So I hope that you've enjoyed watching the introduction to my book, and I am excited about following along with the people that are altering their books. And don't leave me out. I want to alter the books too. So if you've enjoyed watching my video, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on the next page.